Hi, I'm Gary White for Central Kentucky Television. I'm here with Kristen Ruley and Nicole Edlin, who are co-chairs, and actually are sisters as well, for a Huntington's disease walk which took place in Bardstown recently. We're going to talk a little bit about the walk. It was the first annual walk, and it did take place at my old Kentucky home State Park, correct? Yes. Mm-hmm. And we're also going to talk about Huntington's disease and what that is. So let's start out. And Nicole, can you tell us a little about Huntington's disease? Huntington's
disease is a neurological disorder that affects the brain. It basically breaks down your functions, motor functions, your thinking ability, perception, that type of thing, and eventually it makes the patient unable to function. So it's hereditary. So if your mom or dad has it, you have a 50-50 chance of getting it yourself.
Okay, and does it strike you at a certain age?
They used to say mid-age, like 60s or 70s, but in our family, it's struck a whole lot younger. Most of the people who have been affected by it were in their 40s. We did have a 15-year-old cousin die with that, yeah. And then we have a cousin currently in the process of fighting that. She's about 30, so in our family, it's been a little different than average.
Now, as we said, you two are sisters, and you do have, as Nicole was mentioning, a lot of family relatives who have been affected with this disease. Is there a way to be tested for it?
Yes, there's a lot of genetic testing. Usually, though, if it runs in your family, they go off of that and the symptoms that you have instead of doing the more expensive testing as far as your DNA goes. Okay. Yeah, a lot of times they can do MRI scans and they can see by the amount of deterioration in your brain whether or not you have it.
Now, how common is this disease?
There's about 30,000 Americans that have it.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's not very common at all.
Okay. And when did you first come to know about it?
I was younger. I was probably about 10 or 11 when my aunts and uncles started to show symptoms. She was older, I'd say about 19 or 20, I guess, and it's just progressively our family's passed. And it is a fatal disease. You eventually get to a point.
Usually, from the onset, they give you about 20 years to live.
Okay.
And of course, the juvenile is a little faster. The earlier you are when you get diagnosed, the quicker you go.
Now, is there a treatment for it currently?
No treatment. There are medications that can slow your symptoms, but there's no treatment, no cure.
Okay. Now, as we said, there was a walk recently that these two ladies were the co-chairs of the Huntington's disease walk here in Bardstown. It was the first time for this walk, is that correct?
Yes.
And it was to raise money for research?
Yes.
Okay, and how did the walk go?
Amazing. We made a little over $11,000.
Fantastic.
The community was absolutely ridiculous in terms of monetary support. The businesses around town gave. I was speechless, literally speechless, by how the community stepped up and helped. I'm still speechless.
That's great.
It was shocking.
Now, it was held in, was it August?
Yes.
It was held in the beginning of August, correct?
Yeah,
right.
The middle.
Middle of August, okay. And it was held at the my old Kentucky home State Park. Okay. What did you have during the day?
Oh gracious, we had live music, lots of bands came out. We had a silent auction, several baskets, a lot of handmade crafts, a lot of things like that. Our silent auction raised about $2,000 just from that.
Great.
Just different things, cornhole tournaments, things like that.
Now, how can somebody find more information out about this?
The best way is the internet. WebMD gives a ton of information.
HDSA.org too is a great,
that's a good one.
Is that their official organization, HDSA?
Yes.
HDSA.org.
They also have life stories of people who have had it and who are going through it, so that helps to read that person's story and see what they're going through.
Now, is this a more recent disease that people have become more to know about? Do you know, or kind of the history a little bit of it?
In the 90s is when it kind of became a little bit more public about things. Our grandmother had it. She died in a car accident though when she was 50, so that it wasn't really known in our family then. That's been years and years ago. So it hadn't been real common until the 90s.
Okay. And are you planning on having another walk for this?
It's in the talks. It's in the talks. A lot goes into it, and I know we've got a lot of things coming up in the next year. I'm going to have a new baby, and she's going to be getting married, so we've got a lot to talk about, but we would like to. So.
Okay. Do you know a lot of people in the Bardstown, Nelson County area who also are familiar with this disease?
Because of this process, we've came across a ton of families who either had one person, maybe two of people in their family affected with it, and they thought they were the only ones. So it's helped out a ton of people.
Now, are there any particular symptoms that people say can kind of lead them to realize that this might be?
A lot of it is if you come across somebody with Huntington's, they almost seem as if they're intoxicated. Their movements, they're not controlled, their speech is slurred, they just, it's a lot like Parkinson's disease, but it's a lot more severe. You would tell, you'd be able to tell.
And it is very genetic, so
yes.
A lot of it has to do with family history.
Right.
Correct.
As well. And again, you can find out more at HDSA?
HDSA.org.
HDSA.org. And we'll keep you up to date if they let us know if there's going to be another fundraiser here locally as well.
We will. We will.
And any other information we need to get out there for people? And thank you to everybody who helped.
The big thank you.
Big
Thank you is big, yes.
Yes, because that's great. And again, these are the two ladies who organized the Huntington's Disease Walk, which did take place at my old Kentucky Home State Park here in Bardstown in mid-August. I have Kristen and Nicole, who are the co-chairs, and you can find out more at hdsa.org. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, this is Gary White for Central Kentucky Television.